everyone. Welcome to this little video that I'm putting together to talk about how you read tarot, because I get asked this a lot. Like, when you pull a card, how do you know what it means? And so I thought we would do the first 5 cards, but I'd also give you a little bit of a history about tarot. And so tarot actually started in the 1500s in Italy. And the original tarot deck, well, one of the original tarot decks anyways, is in the London Museum. And I use what's called the Rider-Waite deck. You probably have seen me use these a million times. The back looks like this. And that was made by 2 men, Rider and Waite, but Pamela Smith was the one that did the illustrations. Now, a lot of people get confused thinking, oh, this is all Golden Dawn stuff. It's all from the Golden Dawn. And yes and no, because it was actually originated, in Italy back hundreds of years ago. But at the same time, the Golden Dawn did use some of the same exact images. Like the 3 of Swords, that's one of the 3 swords going through the heart. That's the same. So, Pamela Smith, she did a lot of her artwork based on the original. And she left in a lot of the imagery. So it's not all Golden Dawn like people think, but there is a Golden Dawn influence for sure. So what I would say is, if you're going to read tarot, have a spot where you can do this. First of all, you need someplace quiet. I always say, do something that feels right to you. So like, I light incense. I like to play soft, relaxational type music. I always talk about how I really like Enya, but I mean, there's nothing special about Enya. It's just that when I first started, when I was in college, that's what I was listening to. And same thing with the incense. I would use Nag Champa, not because there's anything special about it, but because those sounds and that smell evokes a certain attitude within me. And that is one of peace and quiet. If you meditate, I would definitely recommend meditating first. And you'd want to call in your guides, your angels, your loved ones on the other side to come in and assist you. And then ask Creator, the divine, the universe, whomever, to put a bubble of divine white light around you that only lets in love and light and keeps out all harm and negativity. And then you would start shuffling. And when we get to shuffling, now, I'm not a great shuffler, but my answers are pretty much always correct, right? I'm like in the 90-something percentile. But what I would say is, when I first started, I would shuffle and shuffle and shuffle, pull a card, be like, oh, that's not right. And then I would shuffle again. And here's what I've learned. One day, my guide said to me, Diane, stop. Just shuffle 7 times and call it a day. We've got you. We're paying attention. We are guiding all of this. Because the cards are just a tool. You don't really need the cards technically. You can just be clairvoyant and just get the messages that way. That's fine. But the cards are a really nice tool. And like, I should also mention too, there are oracle cards, and there's certainly many, many other brands of tarot. So the first 5 cards, we actually start off with the 0 card, which is the Fool. And you can see he's about to take a leap off of this cliff. And what he's about is taking a leap of faith, taking a risk, having faith and hope in the universe. He's not afraid that he's going to just fall off. And the way the dog is acting always makes me think, like, they know it's going to be okay, because the dog wouldn't just walk off a cliff. So they know that it's going to be okay. All right. And also too, the Fool starts us off on what's called the Fool's Journey. If you're a member, I do have a whole video on the Fool's Journey, and I take you through all of the first 22 cards, because the first 22 cards are called the Major Arcana. And then you have the 4 suits that make up the rest of the deck. There's 78 cards total in a deck. And the other cards make up the Minor Arcana. So Major Arcana, like this, and the ones I'm showing you today, they have to do with big life events. Whereas the Minor, the Cups, the Wands, the Pentacles, the Swords, they have to do more with day-to-day things, okay? So the next one is, the next person that the Fool meets on his journey is the Magician. And the Magician is all about learning how to use your powers, your abilities to manifest your desires into reality. And he doesn't do it by happenstance. He does it by working his magic. And as you can see, he goes as above as below, right? You can see he's pointing up, he's pointing down. And if you ever want to take the card class that I do have, I get into like what every single number means, what every single color means, every image, so that way you can have like a real deep understanding. But this is just to get you going. So when you get this card, right, you're doing a reading and you get the Magician, you know that there's like this nice new beginning for you where things start to get magical and you start to get what you want. The next card, the next person that the Fool meets on his journey is the High Priestess. And she is very quiet. She's very sedate, but she has all of this inner knowledge inside of her. She's very intelligent, but she's also very secretive. This is not a loud person, okay? This card may signify that there's secret motives, hidden agendas, and that maybe you need to deepen your spirituality. Maybe you need to work more on your meditation work. You need to be more introspective, reflective, meditative. Okay. The next card, the next person that the Fool meets is actually his mom. It's the Empress. And, you know, she is all about abundance, creativity, productivity. And let me just say, if I had to pick chakras, I would definitely say solar plexus chakra for this one. For the Fool, I am thinking that would be more root chakra because that's having trust. The High Priestess would be more your third eye chakra. The Empress is all about your sacral chakra, the one that's in your pelvic area, that's orange, that has your love for life, but also has fertility in every sense of the word. So when you see her, now if you're asking, is someone going to have a baby of any kind, that baby could be a new business. It could be an actual baby. She comes up and you know, like, that's a positive, that's a yes. And then lastly, we'll finish up with Dad. So the Fool then meets his father, the Emperor. And the Emperor is very reliable. He's practical. He's built a good foundation for his future. So say you're doing a reading and you ask, well, is my business going to be successful? The Emperor says yes, because you built a good foundation for yourself. You didn't go into it just, you know, willy-nilly, so to speak, but you built a good foundation for yourself that you can now move forward. So I hope that this was helpful. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. And if you like these kind of videos, let me know and I will certainly do more. I'm going to start a whole playlist giving people little tidbits of tarot information. And so I hope that helps. So all right, everyone, I will see you all in a few days. Bye.